each and every day.
$5,000 in school supplies.
I'm so excited.
Congratulations!
We're helping get teachers the resources they need to inspire the next generation.
All the people who help our children to learn and thrive, it's a partnership. We can't do it by ourselves.
Just go to iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
If recent hail may have impacted your home, contact Wolf Roofing. Our Hague-certified inspectors provide free, honest assessments the Wolf way. And Wolf Roofing has been serving Central Iowa and the state of Iowa since 1993. If you're concerned about hail damage, reach out to Wolf Roofing. Free Hague-certified inspectors deliver accurate, insurance-trusted roof assessments you can rely on. Thorough, honest, the Wolf way. Check out Wolf Roofing online, wolfroofing.net.
Maybe you're thinking about franchising your business or purchasing a franchise. There's an experienced and trustworthy franchise lawyer right in your backyard. Don't waste your time or money searching for a lawyer out of state when Rush Niggett is here and ready to help your business.
Hi, I'm Rush. I've specialized in business and franchise law for the past 25 years. I don't just want to be your lawyer. I want your business to succeed as much as you do.
Your business needs Rush. Visit his award-winning blog at rushonbusiness.com. It's good to have Rush on your side.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KXNO AM Des Moines, KXNO FM Ankeny, KKDM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports LLC.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network and 106.3 KXNO.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome, Miller and Condon. On our Wednesday, we welcome you to the Iowa Sports Radio Network. We're talking sports with you over the next couple of hours, whether you're joining us on Des Moines Sports Station, 106.3 KXNO, the Iowa Sports Radio Network, all our fine affiliates throughout the state, or anywhere in the iHeart app. Glad you are with us for the next couple of hours. Here's what's coming up on our program. Eliot Clough is going to join us. HawkeyeInsider.com going to go over all of the kickoff times that were released. Whoops.
2 o'clock.
Unbelievable. I thought we had them this morning.
I thought so.
I really did.
Year after year after year. It's in the morning at some point. Yep.
2 o'clock. So the boys in the afternoon catch another break programming wise. So we will speculate, I guess,
yes,
as to what we're going to hear coming up at 2 o'clock. But I guess for everybody, all the first 3 weeks of college football, those games will be released, and then we go to that week by week, and some days the 6-day hold, and all of the parameters when it comes to college football and scheduling. But Eliot Clough is going to join us at 12:30. Cappy's going to be here. This should be fun. The Cubs are in the midst of a 10-game skid. We'll pick Cappy's brain on how he thinks, if he thinks that this team can find a way out of it, or what needs to change in order for them to do so, as the Pirates absolutely embarrassed them last night. But Craig Counsell got tossed when it was 12-1 in the ninth inning. I'm not sure what message that sends or not, but Counsell, I think, is part of the problem. Anyways, Cappy coming up at 1 o'clock. And then we're going to talk. I thought that the Fever played the Valkyries tonight. It's tomorrow. But it doesn't matter. We're still going to preview the game and do a little Fever conversation, WNBA conversation with our friend Scott Agnuess, who covers the league and covers the Fever. We'll do that at 1:30. Tip-off time tomorrow night for that game is 9 o'clock. It is on Prime. And no hockey tomorrow night, as there's just going to be one NBA game. There's no NBA tonight. There's one hockey game. We're coming to the end of this, TC. The winter sports are getting closer to crowning their champions.
Well, it is almost summer. So.
Well, it is.
Yes. nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice for them, to get things wrapped up. But spread out that calendar as much as possible.
Hell yeah.
We will definitely take that, and looking forward to seeing Game 4 coming up this evening with the Hurricanes in Montreal, and just that scene. You've talked about it a ton. It's special. It's different. And if you're casual, or maybe you're just not a big hockey person, take a gander tonight.
Dip your toe in this one.
Yes.
Hey, I think it's going to be a great game. The last two have gone to overtime. They're evenly matched, and Montreal just elevates it. It truly does. Just the experience alone. I'm glad I got there a couple of times. I think 3 times I've been able to get there. And that was a no-no as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
That was not a big fan of the French.
Ah, yes.
And it was a very divisive it wasn't. We saw it his way, right? And for whatever, we never thought about vacation in Montreal, or not that we were a vacation family by any means. We had a cabin. So that's where we would go and get on the rope swinging. And my childhood was a Mountain Dew commercial, for crying out loud. It was a blast. But I saw Montreal for the first time. I was blown away. Anyways, he came around later in life. But fun experience tonight. So that's our program. Trent will make some plays of the day. How did yesterday go for you?
4-2.
Another good day.
We'll take it.
Did your props hit?
For the most part. What did we hit yesterday? Let's see.
You had 2 strikeout props, I remember.
We actually we had 3.
Okay.
Or 2, yes. And we hit Schlitter. He went over 5.5.
Yeah,
Harrison only had 2, though.
Did he?
Yeah, which was weird because he'd been striking out like 8-9 guys a game. We hit Yordan Alvarez over, needed over 1.5 bases. He had 8.
Did he really?
That helps.
Yeah.
We hit the Nationals on the money line plus 122 and the Thunder last night. So 4-2, we'll keep stacking them up.
When you watched the game last night, the NBA game, and I thought I was going to watch more. It was such a boring game.
Yeah.
Well, it was boring because one team was just dominating. Up to the first quarter. And I thought the Spurs couldn't miss early, and it was going to be a game, and it turned out not to be. And by the end of the first 12 minutes, OKC had taken the lead, and they were on their way. But it was Chet Holmgren, got to give him credit.
Yes.
Because he's been one of the poster child for underachieving players, and Jeremy Kane stepping up and doing what he did last night. My God, he was good. 20 points for him, but maybe Chet Holmgren was as big of a story last night as anything.
I think so.
His emergence.
I think because if you look forward, and even if the Thunder advance, as they're now prohibitive favorites to do, against the Knicks, you can't just be SGA.
No.
They're not beating the way this Knicks team is playing. They're not beating the Knicks with one guy.
I totally agree with you.
And even the way that they play and the style and all that, they need Chet Holmgren to be the guy that we saw last night. And that certainly was not the case in the first 4 games of the series. But I thought there were a couple of things early. Spurs jump out to the lead. All right, that's nice. And Penny was nuts. I mean, just hitting 3-pointers all over the place.
After another,
But it was right after the Thunder, all right, kind of got their legs underneath them a little bit, got it back to basically even. And there were a couple of plays in the second quarter. Remember Vassell just missing a wide open layup? It was,
I do.
How does that happen in the NBA?
I don't know, right?
This isn't
Jack.
Right. On a breakaway, it's still maybe a 50-50 proposition. This is an NBA player with nobody around it. One of the most baffling things. But as soon as
you see that a lot, though, and guys are usually get not a lot, but this case he was all by himself,
right?
But you see guys that have an open lane to the basket that miss, and you get that cleanup. One of his teammates coming in, saw that a couple of times last night. But, I don't know. I hope it's not over, but man, it sure seems like it's.
Does
over.
It
does.
I love the Spurs in Game 6.
I hope.
And maybe
right,
it's just hopeful.
I hope you're right.
Not a Thunder fan. B. I enjoy the Spurs team.
I do too.
Most importantly, I want to see a Game 7.
I do too.
Saturday night.
Yep. Bring it on.
That would be excellent to be able to get that. 2 young teams, 2 teams that are going to be part of our lives for a long time, I think.
Without a doubt.
Going forward.
Yep.
And to get that opportunity, to get that in a playoff overall has been okay.
I mean, it's not the NHL.
No.
The NHL has far surpassed it. And again, I'm biased, but I think I can put that aside because, if you watch the games, I think you see the same thing I'm seeing. It's and there's still obviously a championship series, and I think the Knicks are going to give whoever it is a series right there with. I really do, and you know what? I think I find myself pulling for the Knicks just because I think these 2 teams from the West, whoever it is, they're not going anywhere, as you said.
Yeah.
You're right. They're going to be back. I don't know if that's the same for the Knicks. It's just New York, right? And it's been since the 70s, crying out loud. 73 or 74, I think, since they won a championship. That building would be packed. It is a special place. Madison Square Garden I loved it. I'm so glad that I checked that box in my life. It's a really cool venue, and it's New York.
And it's special. And you hear New Yorkers talk about it, and when the Knicks are good in the springtime and the season's changing and everything, and just how different the city is. It's a buzz.
Let's a couple of outsiders. How do you think New York sports fans, and I know there's going to be a lot of different ways we can go. What's the most popular team in New York? Is it the Yankees, then the Knicks?
That's difficult because without knowing really what the city's like, because you do have the Mets there.
You do, right.
And that is a portion.
Yes.
And even if it's 2/3 versus 1/3, whatever it is.
There's more Giants fans than Jets fans.
Right.
But there is that allotment percentage of Jets fans. The Rangers are popular.
Mm-hmm. But you also have the Islanders.
You have the Islanders. I would love to know how New York fans kind of rank their fandom, if you will, in the city.
I think
it'd be closer than you think.
I think the Yankees, because of the national perception, maybe changed.
And the championships.
Yes, the way that we look at them because of where we are compared to maybe how New Yorkers overall. And I don't know. It's a really good question. I think probably the Knicks were number one, though. There's no Nets fans.
No.
Not very many.
No.
At minimum.
Right.
It's, I think, different than the fracture that you have in the other sports for New York. In comparison, the Knicks are just different.
Yeah.
1973, by the way.
Is it 73?
Yeah.
Is it? But do we have the first two? Is it Yankees, Knicks?
I think so.
I think so too. It's so hard. Hey, we're sitting in Des Moines. We're crying out loud. I've been there a bunch of times, but I don't know how the fans feel about how they rank their teams. And then, what would be a method that we would go about it? We could remove the biases. I don't think you possibly can. Well, we're headed in that direction, seemingly. OKC right now in the driver's seat. The Knicks will wait. If you're a Knicks fan or you're a Knicks player, you're hoping this thing does go 7 games. Let's get Thunder Joe in here. You had to like last night, Joe. How are you?
Okay. Good afternoon, Ken. I did like last night, and I'm not a big fan of the theatrics. I can't. I love the NBA. It's tough. I don't know if they need to hire some guy to watch every game at the end of each game and start handing out. Like every 20, you get a quarter suspension, 40, 2 quarters, and so on. You see where I'm going with that?
Yep.
The two things here real quick. I think Alex Caruso is the Western Conference MVP, and I don't know if they win the series. I think it's a travesty if he does not get it.
I wonder what he was prior to the series, to be the Western Conference MVP. Do you have any idea what he was before the playoffs started?
No, but I wish I could have that back in the future almanac.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks are the most popular team in New York, and I've got a theory.
Okay.
Yankees and Mets fans hate each other.
Yep.
Jets and Giants fans hate each other. Nobody cares about the Mets. Islanders and Rangers fans hate each other. But they all love them. But they all love the Knicks.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right, Joe. I think you're probably right. Who do you want? Do you think it's going to be a series if we do get OKC and the Knicks? We're trying to make it a series. I think it's going to be. Do you think it will be?
Well, I'll give you my unbiased opinion, and it's going to sound biased. It's going to come down to depth. We've known this for a few years. We talked about it last year. I don't know if the layoff's going to hurt the Knicks come game one, like it did the Carolina Panthers, like it did the Thunder. I mean, you sit, but it's going to come down to depth. And when a team like Oklahoma City can hit you wave after wave, hell, Jared McCain would have won Rookie of the Year last year had he not got hurt. And they fleeced the Sixers. He's coming off the bench. Although he didn't start last night.
He started last night, yeah.
But
he was great.
Come down to depth.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate the call. And I think you're right. And I think that's the reasoning behind it, just the hatred that the fan bases have for the team that they share the city with. Yeah, McCain was unbelievable. So I started messing around just trying to I like the Knicks, Knights, and then found I think the Yankees are going to prevail.
Okay.
I think the Brewers are a free square, and they're not that much overwhelming favorite.
The Brewers are a free square?
Who's going to beat them? Cubs? I'm not so sure they finished in the top 2. Trent, their pitching is just, it's just decimated.
And what they did last night. I mean,
how embarrassing.
But you have no other options. You trot Wicks out there, and then he's going to win. He was up 5 in the first, and sorry, you just got to keep going
back out there.
Yeah, because we don't want to tax the bullpen anymore. You're told Valencia because you got to get him some work.
Hyone's going to be asked today to stop a 10-game losing streak.
I don't think there's a freeze for that.
I feel really good about it. And it's not that over. You don't have to lay a ton of money. I mean, the Cardinals are a nice story. The Brewers crushed them last night. I'm anxious to see this game today because of the history on it at the end. Did you see the relief pitcher for the Brewers?
I did. Doing the DX suck it.
What was he thinking? And good for Pat Murphy. Nipping that in the bud. So that's not how we do things here. And apparently they reached out to the Cardinals and apologized to them as well. I guess maybe trying to get ahead of what was going to happen today.
There's going to be some balls coming in.
Right?
High and tight.
And I'm still not so sure that that's not going to be the case today. But I just think the Brewers are just so much better, at least at this point. And again, we're a third of the way through the regular season, right? 50-something games into it. So about a third of the way through. They've taken the lead. The Cubs are they can't hit. They can't pitch.
It's not a good combo.
It's not a good combo.
They got gloves.
Yeah. Most nights.
Most nights.
By the way, I think with Sean, PC AAA. Had you heard of that nickname?
I had. Yeah.
I hadn't heard that till this morning until he said it. I peed my pants. That's a pretty good one.
It is.
PC AAA. So they haven't won since White Sox Bride and PC AAA got into it. I guess the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern died the last day the Cubs won a game.
Really?
And they haven't won since.
Another curse.
Another curse. It lives. We'll see, but I like the Brewers. I think the Brewers are going to prevail. Anxious to talk to Cappy about that coming up at 12:15. All right, since we won't get the television times, you thought yesterday that the Cy-Hawk game is going to be a 6:30 kick.
Yes.
Lucas says you're wrong.
Well, Lucas is wrong.
He says it's 2:30 CBS.
He's wrong. I saw where he saw that. He saw it on Twitter.
Did he?
I don't know. I saw somebody on Twitter that had it. No, I have heard both Doctorman with us yesterday.
Yeah, he did say that. I think he said you're going to have to wait most of the day for the game.
Yes.
Something, I'm paraphrasing, but that was the gist of it.
Tom Kakert from Hawkeye Report has speculated the same. I believe it's going to be a night game. And that's good.
I agree with you.
The most ridiculous tailgate environment I've ever seen was the 2002 game.
Oh, my God. 5 o'clock kick.
5 o'clock kick. It was obviously Iowa State in the midst of the winning streak that they built up to 6.
Yep.
It continued there. A great game.
Great game.
24-7 lead for Iowa at the half.
Yep.
Iowa State comes roaring back.
Yep.
Brad Banks gets his hand wrapped too tight and fumbles the ball twice. Fall apart. Iowa State comes charging back. Seneca was outstanding. He's a Heisman contender.
He was at the time, till Oklahoma.
That was also a game that I dropped my wallet in the student section.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I get up and make my way from downtown area to the stadium, hoping, maybe, because got to the bar that night, no wallet. Couldn't get back in. All right. Buddies floated B20, and back then that was enough to get through the night.
Yeah.
And everything's locked up. Not getting there. But the walk from downtown to get to the stadium is unlike anything I've ever seen. It was just looked like there was
pre or post
game. This is Sunday morning, and it looked like a bomb had gone off.
Really?
It was awful. This also led to the closing of the old field house lot. That is now.
And that was behind it? Or was that the last straw?
No, but this was bad. I mean, there was a parking structure there. People are up there like 5 floors up, and they got a beer bong that's going all the way down. I mean, it was an incredible party.
Yeah.
A very fun scene, but it went to the nth degree. That's what happens with night kickoffs.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think
we've had a night kickoff subsequent to that.
Yeah, we had the rain delay that turned into a night kickoff.
It did, yeah.
Or I guess it kicked off before that, but ended under the lights. There's been a few. But take me back, because you were in the middle of it here.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of it as a student.
Yep.
That time in 2002, the losing streak ends at 15. Iowa State's taking control. They're having success. Iowa is building. Did the hate feel bigger at that time?
You know what it did? I think it's this is how I remember for a couple of things. A, because Iowa State basketball was good.
Mm-hmm.
It to me was the at the time the high watermark for Cyclone athletics. It seemed like they had finally gotten over the hump and beat, quote, I'll say it, Big Brother. And it just felt different. I remember that we put a Cyclone show on the air. We did, because there was a market for it, and there was sponsorship behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt different that Iowa State had leveled the playing field after being, well, I got here in '89. It was Iowa.
Yes,
it was.
Yes, yeah. And some people, younger people, think we're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I told you where I grew up, Iowa State was not a thing outside of a couple of farming families.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
We had this thing in elementary school. Every Cyhawk week, Mr. Mayor would put up 2 big pieces of poster board, and he'd write your name and the score on what side it was. And it would be, I don't know, elementary school probably had 4 grades, probably 400 kids.
Yeah.
And there would be 380 on the Iowa side.
Yeah.
And there'd be about 20 on the Iowa State side.
Yeah.
And it's not to be flippant. It's not me being arrogant Hawkeye fan. It's the reality.
It was.
From WHO to the Iowa Television Network and what that turned into for basketball.
Radio.
Yes. Those were the things that just made it a statewide phenomenon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll throw this in too, because as a total outsider, as at Prairie Meadows, and we were done racing, and a little bonding group. We went to Kinnick, and we went to Jack Trice that same season. Busloads of us, right? Busloads of Prairie Meadows and Prairie, just doing a company outing thing. I got to Kinnick. I was like, holy mackerel. Right?
These are stadiums.
This is really cool. What a neat, I was starting to grasp college sports because at that time I hadn't. College sports where I'm from is family and friends and girlfriends, period. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then I got to Jack Trice later on in the year. I was lighting a pasture. I was literally in a Now I might've been I don't know where we were. I know we were south of the stadium.
Okay.
Because I can remember the park but we were in like a field. And at Kinnick, I felt like it was just elevated.
Yeah.
So I had that preconception, I guess, planted in '89, but it was just Iowa. But fast forward to when McCarney finally, and I'll never forget his khaki pants. I mean, he sweated right through them.
Right.
That's the thing that sticks with me about that streak finally coming to an end. And then they kept winning, and then they kept winning. And there were seemingly more Iowa State fans. I don't know where they were. Not that they were in hiding, but they weren't necessarily wearing their cardinal and gold on their sleeve. Like very quickly, they began to do so. And then it all changed when Pollard put up the billboards.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was so damn good for business. I mean, it was, what a time to be doing talk radio. What a time we had. God, it was fun. And just the Hawkeye fans in disbelief.
Right.
That some guy was going to do this and do it over in Eastern Iowa, the nerve, the gall. And it was, thank you, Jamie Pollard. This thing just took a total new turn and went to a whole new level.
The vitriol online is as ugly as it's ever been.
Well, and that's true. Don't forget, that was preceding message boards.
Yes.
Or if message
boards were a thing.
But nowhere near. The first message board I remember was, I couldn't believe Hawkeye fans were so mean to Kyle McCann. I mean, good God, that's your quarterback.
That was 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
I hope he's not seeing this, because it's not that I was thin-skinned, but I'd never seen this part of it. I mean, you get toughened in this job, right?
Right.
But yeah, there's just the whole message boards thing. So I can imagine what the vitriol, and today it's just.
But that's different too. From message boards to social media, because for a lot of them, they're hiding behind a screen name.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you.
No.
And the interactions, but this also might be just age too, where I'm aging and probably don't kind of fly quite at the level that I once did.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that tailgating. Yes, go by an Cyhawk game and you'll see some people bickering. You'll see some hollering. There might be a fight or two.
Pre or post fight?
No, I'm talking about now.
Right, but pre-game or post-game fight?
Either.
Okay.
But it felt more prevalent at that time. It was little brother, getting their wind under. They got a little something to the lungs now.
Yeah.
And they're going to shout back.
Heck yeah.
And after having to take it for the last 15 years,
right,
we're here.
It's built up.
And it just feels different. And maybe because people also have the outlets now. They can do that.
Yeah.
And you can
our message
just do it on a computer.
Our message boards as active as they would, because we have Twitter and we have all those other outlets. Are they still as active?
Probably not.
I wouldn't think so, right?
Yeah.
In the pre-Twitter era.
Right.
That was all that there was.
You go back to the heyday, like of the mid-aughts, like 05 to 2010. That kind of feels like the sweet spot, doesn't it?
I think it does.
When message boards were really blowing up all across.
Yep.
Were huge everywhere. And it didn't matter where it was. And you still see them all over the place. And I still frequent some of them from time to time. Usually just Halo, but that's enough for me.
Yeah.
It's fun interactions. It's still behind a screen, but yeah, Twitter and Facebook for your generation.
Yeah, I don't go on it.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's,
you know what?
It's so bad.
I think most people have at least sampled Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I haven't.
Yeah.
It's never, I mean, I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. And I have no desire to catch up what I've missed. All right, 12:25. Eliot Clough is coming up. We will, I guess, speculate as to what we think we're going to get for kickoff times. We'll get the whole college football slate unveiled to us coming up at apparently 2:00 is now when it is anticipated to drop. So if you're sitting on pins and needles as far as kickoff time, obviously the one we want to find out most of all is Cyhawk, and we'll see if indeed it is NBC at 6:30. I hope it is.
Yes.
I hope it is. Do you know what the competition is that day as far as big games?
I do. I had the list up here, and we'll bring up the Big Ten football schedule for 2026.
How about the entire slate? Do you have
that doesn't really matter because it's going to be a Big Ten broadcast game.
Right, but what will it go up against? What will...
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Well, this is what they're working against in the Big Ten. Let's start there.
All right.
That's how I can simplify things here.
I see. Okay, I see where you're going.
So already announced, 11 o'clock, big noon kickoff is Oklahoma at Michigan.
Yeah.
Already also announced, 6:30, Texas hosting Ohio State.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who's got that?
That is on ABC.
Holy mackerel.
So selfishly, 2:30 would be better just as a fan.
Yeah, because you're not beating that game.
Just a college football fan.
Right. That game will win the night.
Right. Other games, though, that potentially could have something to do in those other good windows from the Big Ten. Mississippi State at Minnesota. SEC versus Big Ten, potentially.
Kind of sounds like a Thursday night game on BTN. Doesn't Minnesota always start the year on Thursday night?
They do. Yeah, because of the state. Yeah, for the state fair. No, this is this is week 2. Yeah, this is week 2.
Right. Yeah.
Oregon's at Oklahoma State, but that falls under the Big 12 purview. So that'll be that one. San Diego State's at UCLA, a decent game. Feels like FS1 at 9 o'clock, though, doesn't it? Or BTN at 9 o'clock with that one. Not a whole lot else. Bowling Green goes over to Huskerland.
Yeah, nobody cares.
No, nobody's going to be real fired up about that
stat that Doc threw out yesterday about all the Big Ten teams that would have made the playoff, with the exception of Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, and Nebraska.
Yep.
That floored me.
That's the company that they keep.
That is the company that they keep.
You love that.
I do. But he's right.
Other big games that weekend.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have. I'm looking at teams that are ranked. Tennessee's at Georgia Tech.
No, Georgia Tech doesn't move the needle.
Alabama at Kentucky. We do get an SEC game.
Okay.
That might be ABC 2:30 for that one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not a whole lot else as I continue to scroll through here. Arizona State at A&M.
Okay, that's decent.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Texas Tech at Oregon State, not really.
By the way,
that's about it.
Texas Tech's president, did you see him go to bat for Sorsby?
I did not.
Oh my God.
I saw that the NCAA said no.
Right.
As it should be.
Now they're appealing, obviously. And this Texas Tech quarterback, or president rather, going to bat for his quarterback. Okay. I mean, it's nice. I want to believe that it's just because you feel for the kid. Would you be doing this for the long snapper?
Nope.
They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback.
Until Hammond's healthy.
And how healthy he's going to be. But just that they're going to appeal. with keeping his look. He's sick. There's no getting around. Sorsby's got a disease. When you're sitting in Cincinnati, you're betting pitch after pitch after pitch. You've got a problem.
He's betting $1,
but he's still betting. I mean, he's not even looking at the. You're not even looking at the field. You've got a Major League Baseball game in front of you, and you've got your hand on your phone if you're betting every pitch. That's sick.
This is where I struggle with this, and why maybe I'm becoming jaded. As soon as this happened, everything went down.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to rehab.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Wonderful for him.
Yep.
Absolutely. If he needs the help.
And that's part of the argument from the Texas Tech president.
But also it was stated that he had not placed a wager since he'd arrived in Lubbock. That was also part of the initial story.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an addiction, a true addiction,
you're going to find a way to bet.
That's where I jump off.
Mm-hmm.
And where I start to think about nefarious things.
I got you. And that's an excellent point. And that counters my point. And you're 1,000% right. If you're sick, if you're an alcoholic and you go to a dry state, you're going to bring your own, you're going to find a way.
Absolutely.
Right?
You're an addict.
Yeah.
You're going to find a way.
Yeah.
And yet we're to believe that once he got to Lubbock,
stop cold
turkey, but he's addicted.
Yeah.
That does not jive with the way that I think about things.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, unfair.
Mm-hmm.
That did not pass the smell test for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see your point. You make it. I can't argue that. But I just he just debased himself, the Texas Tech president. He really and truly did. Again, it's the most important position in all sports. Would you be doing this for your long snapper? Of course not. Eliot Clough coming up next. 12:30 Miller and Condon underway on our Wednesday. Cappy in a half hour. That should be spirited. Look forward to catching up with Cappy. Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors Capper. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Live and local every weekday. Statewide on the Iowa Sports Radio Network and everywhere you are on the free iHeartRadio app. This is Des Moines Sports Station. 106.3 KXNO.
It happens only once a year in Las Vegas.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is back.
Please put your hands in the air.
One stage, 2 nights.
Are you ready?
Featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Hear it live on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Listen for the reveal of our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tuesday morning at 7.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Ice Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Sean Roberts. I want to get serious and talk about those who may have a problem with sports betting. You can spot them a mile away, right? Well, this may be a surprise. Anyone can have a problem. You, me, a friend, a neighbor, or people you admire, people you love. It doesn't matter who you are. What does matter is getting help. Contact 1-800-BETS-OFF. No judgment, just help. Brought to you by the Iowa HHS.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
What if your lawn could mow itself? With Iowa Mobotics, it can. Get a smart robotic mower to use advanced technology to cut your grass autonomously, keeping your lawn perfectly trimmed while you save hours every week. Precision, consistency, zero hassle. Take back your weekends at iowamobotics.com.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin. And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We
invented a podcast? Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts.
We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but,
tired and sick.
Tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
More with Miller and Condon in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You're listening to Miller and Condon.
He can't see it. Wide open.
On 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. 12:35 on a Wednesday. Cappy coming up, hour number 2. Scott Agnuess on the Fever and the W coming up at 1:30. Trent's Plays of the Day. Circus Sports sponsor those. Those come by at about till 1:50 or thereabouts. Let's talk to Eliot Clough, HawkeyeInsider.com. Eliot, we thought we might have some kickoff times. It sounds as though we're going to have to wait until 2 o'clock. Before we get into football, Eliot, I do want to pick your brain, not pick your brain, but just get you to opine on your colleague Sean Bach, who did a piece on Andrew McKeever. I've not read it. I'm excited to see his fit at the University of Iowa. I think he's going to, he's got a chance, I think, to play obviously a major impact in what's left of his career. Your thoughts and what did Bach discover when it comes to McKeever and his potential fit?
Yeah, well, Ken, I was working this morning myself, so I haven't read it either. But I think it's one of the primary things that is going to be different about Iowa this coming season. I mean, when you look at Cam Maniau and what he did in the front court, pretty impressive for his size, but moving to a position where he can come off the bench is much more advantageous for him and Iowa. When you look at McKeever, I may have said it to you guys before, but the thing that sticks out to me and that I remember from my first year on the beat was going to watch the Hawks play at Purdue when Zach Edey was there, and Peyton Sanford telling me about how much space Edey took up. And that's such a positive for the team that has the big guy. And now that's Iowa having McKeever in the middle. I can't remember the exact number, but he was one of the top players in the country in rebounding percentage, which again, that's huge for this team going into next season. Just a guy that takes up a ton of space, that you can go to in the short pick and roll as a passer. Those numbers that he put up as a passer in a small sample size are really good. So just a guy that, is going to provide some serious size. That's what they needed. That's what they wanted out of the portal. Underrated passer and a guy that can overwhelm opposing offenses with his ability to take up space in the middle and in the paint. So just an ad that Iowa really needed and that they got, and that's a big win out of the portal for Ben McCollum in his second year leading the program.
Speaking about the portal, Tyree Coleman, his fit, another guy, you look at some of those numbers from Synergy, they're really good in the pick and roll game and something that you think he could strive on. Do you see him and Cale Combs playing a bunch together next year, or maybe a little bit, maybe a stretch of 5 to 8 minutes a game? Do you think they're going to be the backcourt together, or more of a combo, each of them running the point at different times?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would imagine just because of the usage of those type of guards in McCollum's system that they'll play quite a bit together. It'll probably be interchangeable, right? I mean, those two are combo guards with some positional versatility in terms of their size. and defense for that matter. That'll be two guys that play some really good perimeter defense for Iowa next year. Whether it's on, a point guard or a shooting guard. I think what you want more from Combs is consistency in terms of shooting the three. Coleman brought that last year for Illinois State. My concern, honestly, guys, is the immediate expectations for Coleman out of the portal, because he was good for Illinois State last year. I think his best basketball is ahead of him, but he's not going to be all Big Ten first year, right? He averaged 10 points per game last year for Illinois State. So I think that's something maybe to tamper some expectations from the fan base, at least. And, a lot of that expectations and stuff you see from the fan base is on Twitter. So maybe I'm overreacting because Twitter is not the real world, right?
Yes.
But
thank God.
Yeah. But it'll be really interesting to see how McCollum balances those guys out. How much does Isaiah Howard factor into that rotation in the backcourt going into next year, because he's one of the better defenders on the team and a really solid athlete, but he needs to be much more consistent as a shooter to see more consistent minutes this coming year. But I mean, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I think that's going to be one of the more intriguing pieces about this team this coming year. And where does Tate Sage factor in as a guy who plays on the ball this coming year? Is he going to play on the ball more? Because he is a guard, right? Despite his size and kind of fitting into that hybrid size of being a 6'7" wing, he does identify himself as a guard. So will he be on the ball this coming year? And how much does that factor into how much the ball is in Coleman's hands, in Cale Combs' hands? It's really, really interesting. If I had to guess, they probably start together, Coleman and Combs. That's my guess right now. But it'll be really interesting as to how they split those roles, how Combs grows in this coming year with Sturts having moved on, and how much on-ball responsibility each of these guys is going to get, because that's a factor of McCollum and the way he likes to play the ball. Yeah, it likes to have a dominant on-ball guard, and is Combs, does he have that star power to take over that role and play at a high level, or could Coleman, blow my expectations out of the water and play at a really high level after just 1 year of mid-major ball?
Do you know the answer to this when it comes to one of the things I want to watch is the season ticket renewal and when deadlines are, because look, we know that the women have sold way more tickets over the last few years than the men have. I think that gap narrows this year, Eliot, obviously based on the Elite Eight run and the feel around the program, and seemingly men's basketball fans who may have, checked out during the Anna McCaffrey era. I think if they were on the fence, I think they're totally going to be back in. Do you know when there are any deadlines as far as renewing your season tickets, or where they're going to be at for men's basketball?
Unfortunately, I don't off the top of my head, Ken. I know that some messaging was sent out by the athletic department just recently, but as far as I know, I think it was just a reminder to sign up for your tickets. But yeah, I would imagine that those numbers are going to be way up relative to last year, especially with the portal additions and that success that they had at the end of the year. It'll be intriguing to see how Iowa does in the non-con against their high major opponents. And I think that'll really help dictate how things go in the Big Ten and, at the beginning of Big Ten play. It'll be interesting to follow. I imagine, there will be more sellouts this year than there was last year, and Iowa will have an opportunity to right the wrong of what happened against Purdue at home during that one sellout this last year. That was a brutal one, but I think they'll be much more prepared for that and be ready to go in big games like that at home.
Was announced yesterday that season ticket holders, the renewal deadline is July 31st for that.
Okay.
So
there you go.
People can renew, and then we'll get the new ones that'll go in there. And yes, it's going to be a good environment in Carver. One guy, Eliot, I don't think we've talked much about is Cooper Koch and the ascension we saw from him.
Golf with Jess Settles and his pops yesterday.
That's not too bad, right? That's a good day out on the golf course playing with Jess and with JR. So we saw the shooting finally start to improve in the back third of the season. Kept him in a couple of games, really shot the ball well. Is there more to him skill set wise offensively? Is he a guy, not consistently, but a little bit more that can put it on the deck when people are closing out hard, that can finish at the rim a little bit better. Offensively, we saw the emergence on the defensive end. What more can he do on the offensive end to become maybe a more complete player this season?
I think one thing that went super underrated about Cooper coming out of high school was his ability to score at all three levels. That hasn't necessarily translated so much at this point anyway. Would not surprise me if McCollum and staff, one of their big focuses is getting him in a position to handle the ball a little bit more. Granted, that hybrid position, I mean, like we started off this conversation talking about Combs and Coleman in terms of how heavily on ball they are in this system. If you can get your hybrid to be a little bit more consistent on ball in terms of attacking the rim and such, that'll be really interesting. It'll be interesting too to see how McCollum combines these lineups and how often, like how he uses the hybrids in relation to McKeever, in that you don't want to clog the lane, right? You don't want to cause turnovers by getting too bunched up inside. So with McKeever as a screener, how often are you going to use your hybrids in a pick and roll, or is that going to be primarily your guards? So yeah, I think if the next step, if there is a next step in Cooper's game, it is putting the ball on the deck, maybe doing a little bit of creation rather than just a catch and shoot guy, which he was really, really good at towards the end of the season. And it was just a matter of time before that started his shot started to fall. And luckily it happened towards the end of the season for Iowa. But yeah, I think it's putting the ball on the deck. I think it's scoring at the rim specifically. You talk about a 3-level scorer. McCollum is not one to go for mid-range jump shots by any means. So I think it's putting the ball on the deck, maybe creating a little bit off the dribble on the outside, and then getting downhill and attacking the rim, finishing through contact, right? Going for those and ones, because Coop's a really good free throw shooter too. So you want to score, right? You want to score at the rim, you want to score from the free throw line, and you want to score from three. McCollum's all about efficiency. Cooper Koch, if he can get to the rim, finish with both hands, finish through contact, that would be a major step forward in his game.
What last thing for me, what time do you speculate we're going to see the Iowa Cyhawk football game? 6:30, 2:30? Any idea? What's your guess as to when we're going to see Cyhawk at Kinnick this year?
Man, it'd be cool to have a night game for Cyhawk again, wouldn't it? Under the lights at Kinnick. It's been a while. Was the last one the punt where it was, muffed by a teammate tackling is that was the last
in
one.
Ames?
Yeah.
The rain delay game.
Yeah, so that would be really fun. But I'll be a company man. I'll say it's going to be on CBS at 2:30.
Good stuff. All right, Eliot, thanks for popping on. We appreciate the contribution as always, and we'll talk to you in the weeks ahead. Thank you, Eliot Clough, HawkeyeInsider.com. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, good to talk to you. We speculate on Iowa, talk a little basketball, a little football with Eliot Clough. Good stuff on it. Eliot, it's going to be fun. This McCollum era is off on the right foot, to say the very least, right?
People are in.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see the numbers, Trent. Do the women continue their sellout?
Right.
Their stronghold on the attendance, or does that come at the expense of the men becoming more popular again?
We're still talking about a media market that's not very big.
Right.
And there's only so many entertainment dollars. Wrestling has their fan base.
Yep.
And they're selling out.
Yep.
Now you have women's basketball. Now people getting back into the men. And I told you that phenomenon of women's basketball and how my parents and their friends and how it wasn't like it was growing up when Iowa men's basketball was appointment viewing. It was women's basketball.
Yeah.
Well, now with the success, and I started to see it in March, they're starting to get back into it. Oh yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is enjoyable. There does feel like there is a peak for everybody.
I agree.
It's going to be very difficult for everybody to be able to sell out everything.
We'll take our final time out of hour number one. David Kaplan off to Chicago to kick off the second hour. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
For 25 years, 106.3 KXNO has been the heartbeat of Iowa sports. From Friday Night Lights to championship dreams, we've been there for every play. Here's to the fans, the teams, and the passion that keeps us going. 106.3 KXNO, Des Moines sports station for 25 years and counting.
Are
you looking to upgrade your curb appeal? TNT Landscaping and Nursery is your trusted partner of more than 35 years in Ankeny and the Metro for all your landscaping needs. Browse 5 full acres of trees, plants, and shrubs, their huge nursery selection, and all the landscaping hard goods to get the project done. Hawkeyes Barbecue, also there, and it's a griller's paradise. Visit TNTlandscaping.com for details or stop in at 1313 Southwest Ordnance Road in Ankeny. Tell them Heather sent you in.
She needs an adult in her life to hang out with or shoot hoops with. But it's not really about basketball. It's about having a mentor, someone who shows up consistently and listens, someone like you. There are kids in your community who want guidance from someone who cares. If you believe in the value of giving back, become a mentor. A message from Iowa HHS and your local provider.
48 countries.
Only one winner.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live. Every unforgettable moment wherever you are. Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
The world will be listening.
If you're thinking about upgrading your HVAC system, Green's Appliance Heating and Cooling is turning up the value. For a limited time, when you purchase a new qualifying HVAC system, you'll receive a free water heater included. That means improved comfort, better efficiency, and dependable hot water, all in one smart upgrade. Professional installation, trusted local technicians, and comfort you can count on. Don't miss this limited time offer. Call Greens today or schedule online at greensahc.com.
It's showtime, and Knoxville Raceway is going old school. Race fans, this is Tony Bachhoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway. Novelty Sprint Car action returns for the Avanti Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash, May 29th and 30th. For more information, visit KnoxvilleRaceway.com.
This month at Ames Ford, we celebrate American value for American values. Our best price upfront and in writing, now with employee pricing. Unbeatable value on new Ford and over 175 used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Find the SUV for you with new Ford Explorers and Bronco Sports in stock and now offering employee pricing. Or drive away in the all-new Ford F-150 with employee pricing. These deals won't last. Visit us in-store or online at amesford.com.
Look up how many grams of protein you're supposed to eat in a day. I'll bet you're A, shocked, and B, probably not getting enough. I found an easy way to up my protein is AE Dairy cottage cheese. I've tried them all and they are the best with so many flavors too, including their latest Parmesan garlic cottage cheese. So if you're looking for a quick, delicious snack that's packed with protein, it's AE Dairy cottage cheese. Parmesan garlic cottage cheese is in stores now. Get product info and great recipes at aedairy.com.
My mission is improving lives, whether it's my team or my clients. And with so much turbulence in the world, can we really put a price tag on peace of mind? Your old buddy Brian here from Service Legends. And in my world, here's what peace of mind looks like to improve your life. So I pulled the data on our top-notch tune-ups from last year. 98.2% of the systems we maintained are still running like clockwork. I truly believe that's what homeowners like you really want. No breakdowns and getting the absolute most life out of your system. True peace of mind. I have so much confidence in my home comfort heroes and the job they do for Service Legends clients that I'm putting this ironclad 1-year guarantee on the line this summer. In the outside chance your AC does have a challenge after one of our top-notch tune-ups, I'm not only going to refund the cost of your tune-up, I will fix it for free. Look, not all AC tune-ups are created equal, and clearly not all guarantees are either.
Call 515-COMFORT. We fix it right or it's free. Service Legends.
Ken Miller, Trent Condon, Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, welcome back. Final couple of minutes, first hour of our program. David Kaplan kicks off hour 2. Scott Agnuess on the WNBA and the Fever. They play the Valks tomorrow night in that rematch. Real quick, 11 hours from now, where are we? About 11 hours, Momcilovic will have told the world what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like if you wait till this long, you'll come back to school. That's my guess. I don't know where he's going. I don't think it's Iowa State.
I don't think it's Iowa State either. I don't think it's Louisville. I don't think it's St. John's.
You think it's Kentucky?
I think it's Kentucky.
I hope it's not Arizona for Iowa State fans.
Yeah, when that one came up yesterday, when Goodman
that was
tweeted
Jeff
that
Goodman,
out.
right?
Yeah,
And of course, Cologne fans attacked him because he's after clicks. That was their pushback. Nothing but clicks. He's obviously got, look, he's as connected as anybody is in the sport.
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
I don't think that I hope this isn't going to happen.
He's also a raconteur.
Yeah.
He's not.
That's true.
He's not a strict news guy like Matt Norlander.
Yep.
He likes to prod and poke.
Yeah, that's true. He does.
So to be fair on both sides, he also has more of that element.
Yeah.
But I think it's Kentucky.
I just don't think he pulled it out of his you-know-what.
Right.
I
You also
think
know where
it's
Jeff
Kentucky,
Goodman went to
too.
school, right?
No, where did he go?
Arizona.
Did he?
Yes. And yet Arizona fans hate him.
And he lives in Charleston, South Carolina.
Is that where he is?
I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's not Arizona. It's not. It's not. Iowa
That's salt
State.
in the wound.
It would be if you go to another Big 12 school. That wouldn't. Like it seemed pretty clear that the TJ and Milan had a conversation as soon as the year ended.
Yep.
And both seemingly were good with. We came this far. It's time to go different ways. I think he's going to Kentucky. I don't think he's going to the NBA.
The St. John's one.
The money's there.
Yeah. Get him over the hump.
Uh-huh.
Talk about being a legend in New York.
Right.
That'd be pretty good.
Who's going to be better? And he'll have essentially, if by the sounds of things, he'll have 2 years to play.
If we get the passage and the opportunity for the 5 for 5.
That's Ted Cruz and some other and another politician are putting forward.
Yeah, Cantwell from Washington State. Yeah.
Is that got a chance? I mean, there's some things in there that I like, Trent.
Yes, the Lane Kiffin rule is the best one.
I love it. I love it.
If you missed it, so this has been being worked on forever. They've come together. They still got to get the votes. We're a long ways away from that. But they put it the Lane Kiffin rule where you can't leave your program until the season is over.
Right.
Perfect.
Love it. Love it. You get 5 years, one transfer.
If you transfer again, you got to sit out.
Got to sit out a year,
like the old days.
But we'll see where it goes. We're going to go to Chicago when we come back. Cappy kicks off hour number 2. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Quick question. Want to go to Vegas with KXNO? We're giving away the Circa Silver Anniversary Experience. Flights, Circa Hotel, food money, stadium swim, sportsbook VIP access, and nights out with the KXNO crew. All for one lucky winner and a guest. And 5 more winners still get the Vegas hookup. You've got until June 28th to enter. Don't hear about it later. Be there. Only from KXNO and Circa.
Sign up now at KXNO.com. We want you to come with us. Yep, Mrs. C and I are going to the birthplace of Western civilization, the place where democracy started, where philosophy started, literature, art, and architecture, Greece. We're going to Athens, to Mykonos, to Santorini, September the 5th through the 15th. Walk through history with me and Mrs. C in Athens, the ancient heart of Greece, with a guided visit to the legendary Acropolis. Then we can all escape to Mykonos, where we will have a wonderful tour through the charming Mykonos town. And that's where we're rolling up our sleeves and doing a Greek cooking class. I can't wait. Next, we get to go to Santorini. It's one of the most breathtaking islands in the Aegean. This is Greece at its finest. Culture, cuisine, unforgettable beauty. Space is limited, so call my friend. Travel today. 51. All you have to do is pack your bags.
This Memorial Day, get up to an extra $1,000 off select top brand appliances like LG. Plus, get free delivery at the Home Depot. Whether it's backyard cookouts or watch parties, LG's newest refrigerators keep the drinks ready and guests impressed with mini craft ice, plus both cubed and crushed ice. Celebrate Memorial Day with appliance savings and free delivery on select appliances at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 14th through June 3rd. U.S. only. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more. See store online for details.
Your home deserves expert care, and that's what you get with Mr. Electric. We're locally trusted for everything from lighting installs to panel upgrades. On time, professional, and done right. Mr. Electric, powering your home with confidence.
In Des Moines, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with over 5,000 Chase branches nationwide, we're right beside you, Des Moines. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Save big on everything for your next project. Now at Menards. Keep your home neat and organized with help from Dakota. Whether you need extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Menards has the shelving solutions for you. Dakota shelving comes in a variety of finishes to match your style. View our entire selection of Dakota shelf boards on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
I've got a personal question. At what point did you stop calling it pain and start calling it, that's just how I am now? Well, that's not okay. And deep down, you know it. So let's get back to you who is active and carefree. And the medical team at QC Kinetics is ready to help with their long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain. My right knee was really bothering me from a couple of knee surgeries many years ago. And QC Kinetics got me walking, lifting, and golfing again pain-free. They're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulders, hips, lower back. Now, all of these same people are moving, sleeping, golfing, and running without surgery or long recoveries. This is just getting back to being you. And the longer inflammation sits, the more damage it does. So let's schedule that free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics at 515-259-1227. That's 515-259-1227 for QC Kinetics. Tell them Heather said they could help.
Spring savings are here at Priority One Heating and Cooling. Get up to $1,800 back on a new heating system or enjoy no payments, no interest for 12 months. You're in charge of how you save big this spring at callpriority1.com.
KXNO AM Des Moines. KXNO FM Ankeny. KKDM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports, LLC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Reaching a championship series in professional sports is difficult enough. Winning one, even harder. Some franchises wait decades just to make the playoffs. Others spend generations chasing a title that never comes. That's the part of what makes championships matter so much. The climb is supposed to be long, forgiving. Nobody seems to explain that to the Vegas Golden Knights. From the moment the franchise entered the NHL, Vegas has operated like an organization completely uninterested in the typical expansion team timeline. In their very first season, the Golden Knights reached the Stanley Cup final, something that felt impossible at the time. A few years later, they won the Cup, and here they are again, headed to a third Stanley Cup final in just 9 seasons. Expansion teams are usually measured by slow growth. Vegas has skipped that part entirely. 9 years into existence, the Golden Knights are already building something that looks far closer to a dynasty than an expansion franchise. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. It's only natural you see these golfers mistaking the True Green lawns for an actual golf course. Have you noticed that?
Come on.
No, I'm serious. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know what it takes to get golf course quality lawns.
So you're saying we could host a tournament out back?
Well, yeah, I guess we can. Get your own golf course quality lawn at truegreen.com. Truegreen.com. Let the pros handle the lawn. Just don't be surprised when golfers show up.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up. and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. 106.3 KXNO. Ken Miller, Trent Condon. This is Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hour number 2, welcome back, Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network. Taking you until 2 o'clock off the bench at that time. Lucas Sean come in here, take you until 5. Let's head to Chicago. David Kaplan joins us, sponsored every single week by our friends at Centurion Stone of Iowa. Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors Cappy. More about them coming up here. Cap, Trent, and Ken, thanks for coming on. How's your sanity, Cap? How are you handling this 10-game slide that the Cubs are currently in the midst of?
I mean, my sanity's good. I just tell the truth every day, and I'm sure it doesn't make people happy when I, rip on the team and the management and the manager and Marquis. Like, there's so much to unpack. Like, I said on the radio this morning, I watched 2 stupid fundamental plays yesterday early in the game and immediately knew their head's not in it. Now, maybe they're pressing too tightly, maybe, but P-Core Armstrong comes up throwing on a base hit. Connor Griffin trying to go first to third. And Pete has a really good arm. Yeah, Connor Griffin is fast. Yep. He not only airmails the cutoff man, he airmails third base. Yep. So now the guy that got the single is in scoring position because he goes into second. Now it's second and third, nobody out. And I went, what are we doing here? I mean, we got to be smart about this. And, of course, those 2 runs end up scoring on a hit by Brian Reynolds. They get another hit, and then they get a home run, and it's 5-0, and basically the game is over at that point. But in the second inning, Bregman hits a double off the wall. Ian Happ gets a double, and then a fly ball to right field. And if you can't guarantee me that you're going to make it to third, why are you tagging up at second and you get gunned down? I mean, it wasn't like they challenged it and lost.
Right.
Yeah, he got thrown out. There was no challenge. You're out. Yep. And now instead of man at second and 1 out and a base hit is going to make it 5-2 and maybe give you a little life, you got 2 outs and nobody on, inning over basically, and the next guy made an out. Like, those are just stupid, dumb, idiotic, mental mistakes. Those are not physical. You could say the throw from PCA airmailing third, okay, that part of it's physical. The decision to make the throw and to miss the cutoff man, that is a stupid mental error, a bad baseball play. Ian Happ, that's just a dumb play.
Right.
Dumb.
Yep.
You don't do it. And does the manager do anything about it? No. Those guys, I'm sure, will be in the lineup tonight, A. B, does he say anything in the postgame? Nope. Does he air him out in the dugout? Nope. But yet I watched the mentor, Pat Murphy, his mentor, who he played for.
Yes.
I watched him last night after Uribe act like a complete clown when he got the last out. And he said, I'm going to talk to him about it. That is ridiculous. That's not how we play. You think Craig Counsell would ever do that?
Nope.
No, we can't be afraid. We got to be afraid to ruffle feathers around here. Are you kidding me? I mean, what is going on here, man? The inmates running the asylum? It's beyond the pale. And then on Marquis, and I love Boog. I'm a friend of his, but I also am going to tell the truth. Jim DeShays, Taylor Moreira, love all those people. Whoever's making the decision that we need to learn about Shota Imanaga's rice cooker that he bought on Amazon or the nacho thing in Texas, as a fan, I don't give a flying rip. I want to know, why did the Brewers swing at the first pitch 14 of the first 16 batters against Imanaga? Why don't you give me something on that? Because that's talking baseball. Or why, when there's first and third and you're trying to stay in a game against Milwaukee and the guy on first tries to steal, why is Carson Kelly throwing through? And only because Dansby was able to be a wizard to keep the ball in the dirt from getting into the outfield to give him another run. Why are you throwing through? How about give me something on that? Talk freaking baseball. Sorry to go off on
No,
that.
listen, you're preaching to the choir, Kaplan, and I feel the same way. I mean, I watched the Mets broadcast, and Ron Darling's ripping Mendoza because he just lets these guys. I loved it. Absolutely did. You're not going to hear that on Marquee. You know what the story on Marquee was yesterday? Dansby Swanson changed his socks. He's not wearing the high socks. He's not. He's got the pants coming right down to the shoe tops. That's what I got out of Marquee. It drives me crazy that no one is willing to be critical when critical and when you need to be, when you've got a chance to do so, to go ahead and do it, and they don't, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. I got to listen to Elise Menaker, who I'm sure is a lovely person. I've never met her. This is not a criticism of her abilities. It's decision-making.
No, she's good. I'm with you. Yep.
We got an update on Justin Steele. Good news on Justin Steele.
Yeah.
The doctor today cleared him to start strengthening his arm. No plan yet that he's getting back up on a mound. That's not good news.
No.
You need a starting pitcher like a starving man needs a sandwich. And you're telling me it's good news that a guy that's more than a year past his surgery, it's good news that you're going to let him strengthen his arm a little bit, but no plan yet to get him up on a mound. I don't need to hear that. Don't spin it for me. Tell me the freaking truth. Well, we got a report on Justin Steele. Maybe not as encouraging as we hope, but maybe a step in the right direction. I don't need you to spoon feed me this nonsense.
Outside of Carson Kelly and Bregman, everybody's been awful hitting the ball for the better part of 2 weeks. You bring up Alcantara, and I get it. His strikeout rate's huge. Is he going to turn into a great player? Who knows? But you have somebody that was at least hot. You bring him up there, you sit on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
When you're struggling like this, that's the part. Ken and I go back and forth about managers. He loves to kill managers. There's only so many times I think you can say try harder. But that aside, you have a guy that was hot, that can swing the bat, and your whole team's not swinging it. It just is baffling to me that this guy can't get at bats when they're struggling up and down the lineup.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I said today, what is Kevin Alcantara here for? To sample the fare on the team charter and give us food reviews? Why did you bring him up? For what possible reason? I have to have Ian Happ back in the lineup. I got to have Seiya. And then I listen to the manager say, well, you never know when your best players are going to break out of it, so you just keep running them out there. That's garbage. That is the mentality of a loser. No. How about doing something bold? When PCA does what he does, how about something super bold where you go, Pete, take the rest of the night off. And when somebody goes, why did you pull Pete in the first inning? After the first inning, I'm not saying to go Bobby Cox and go on the field, but at the end of the inning, you're done for the night.
Yeah.
We're not going to miss cutoff men anymore, and you'll remember it. And I'm going to tell the media exactly why. We don't do that stuff, and it drives me insane. That's not personally attacking somebody. Hey, Craig, first inning, PCA didn't come out for the second. Is he okay? He's fine. That was a message that we are done missing cutoff men and making fundamental mistakes, period. We work on this stuff at spring training. I'm not going to tolerate it. We've lost 10 ball games in a row, and enough is enough. I'm putting my foot down. I would be leading the cheers from the top of the Sears Tower.
How are they going to work themselves out of this, Cap, knowing that Cabrera, I guess Boyd's apparently going to start on Sunday in his rehab. Cabrera's gone for a couple of weeks. Tyon's has to stem the tide tonight. I mean, and with the ineptitude in the batter's box, how's this thing going to come to an end?
I wish I knew. I really, really mean that. I don't know how you get this thing back on track. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't. I mean, you bring Ramirez up. Okay, he got a couple of games. He had a hit in both games.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got to play the veteran guys. I'd like a veteran to step up and, say, enough's enough. Ride me. Get me up in a big hit, in a big spot opportunity, and I'm going to deliver. Guess what? Find me a reliever that says, I'll take that guy. Put me in there right now. I'm going to shut this thing down. Jordan Wicks, you got your first opportunity of the season. what a great chance to go, wow, they got 6 shutout innings out of Jordan Wicks. Nope. First guy up. What did he walk him on? 4 pitches?
Yeah.
I mean, are we kidding? God, it drives me insane.
Yeah. 5-0 at the end of one, and it got worse from there.
And
yep, ball game over.
Yep.
Monday, I was telling Ken yesterday, I was watching Monday. I got into the game late. It was like the 7th inning. It's a 1-run game. And just the non-competitive at-bats, the want, that's the part that you're just left scratching your head is, I get it. It's 162. It's a marathon of a season, but the non-competitive at-bats, Cap, I'm not a fan of the Cubs, but just watching them, that drove me crazy on Monday. How does that happen at the major league level? I know you're going to get 600 at-bats. There's going to be some of those that just you're not completely there. That's the baffling part to me. When you're struggling like this, who is the leader? Who is the guy that you point to in that clubhouse?
Well, I mean, you paid Alex Bregman to be a leader.
Should have paid him last year.
What's that?
You should have paid him last year when the window was open. I think it's closed.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say the window's closed when 2 weeks ago, go back and pull it up, the MLB.com power ranking, they were the number 1 team in baseball. Number 1. And 2 weeks later, the window's closed?
I think it was I think it was fool's gold to begin, Cap. I do.
I mean, it's hard for me to say it's fool's gold when you have 4/5 of your rotation on the injured list and you won 2 separate 10-game win streaks. You went 20-3 over a 23-game span. And now, who are you starting? Colin Ray? Colin Ray was brought back here to be a spot starter and a long relief guy. I mean, it's just brutal. Right now to watch the Cubs is like a root canal.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee looks as though they're clearly the class of the division. I don't know if the Cardinals are sustainable. The Pirates are probably kind of like the Cubs and the Reds. They're all going to kind of spin their wheels. Somebody's going to win 84 and 85 games and look at the Brewers, maybe back in. But I just thought last year they had a chance with all of the injuries. And then they overcame Steele last year. They had Cade Horton emerging last year. It was the pitching staff, the starting pitching staff was held together by duct tape, and I just don't think it was sustainable, and it's starting to show. I hope it turns the corner. It's good for business here in the summertime when the Cubs are good, but man, they are bad right now. On your show, is there an outcry for council must go? Are they at that point?
I wouldn't say that they're calling for Craig to be fired. There's some of that, but not like an overwhelming, like, oh my God, we got to fire this guy. But, you know, at what point does some type of a change have to happen? At some point. I mean, is it 15 games in a row? Is it 18 games in a row? I mean, you don't win tonight. Good luck tomorrow, the way this offense is hitting. You got Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
So, and then you're going into
coming
St.
off
Louis.
a loss.
You don't think they want to make a point?
Yes, Sunday night
two
baseball.
of those games, Saturday and Sunday, on national TV. So good luck.
South side of town's been more fun, though not last night, even with Murakami hitting a home run to tie it and send it into extra innings. You know, I watched the last 2 games, as you know, Cappy, I'm a Twins fan. Seeing the White Sox for now, what would it be, I guess, 20 innings the last 2 days. Neither of these teams are very good, but the American League is so bad. Is there real hope for not just the White Sox, but the Twins and almost everybody else in this league that, hey, you can be a playoff team? That's how bad this league is.
I would agree with that. Both those teams should have legitimate playoff aspirations. You know, somebody said to me today, well, if the Cubs could trade for Joe Ryan right now, would you do it? Well, first of all, the price would be extreme.
Yep.
And if I dropped Joe Ryan, who was great last night until he gave up the Murakami homer, maybe he shouldn't have been in there at that point. I don't know. Okay, Joe Ryan every 5th day, great. Does that fix the Cubs offense? It does not. So I wouldn't make that trade right now if I was the Cubs. If I was the Twins, I wouldn't make the trade.
I wouldn't either. You're in.
Because they legitimately could run Cleveland down, and they could absolutely win a wild card. And then, you know, the St. Louis Cardinals, I know that several years ago, they won 83 games and won the World Series. You're telling me that could never happen again? I'll tell you, you're wrong.
Did we maybe come into this year? I mean, Michael Busch had 34 home runs. that was never going to be duplicated. At least, I mean, not that he's a bad player. I like Michael Bush. I didn't think he was going to hit 34. Seiya drove in over 100 runs. Were maybe our expectations a little over the top with this team, Cap?
I don't think so. Absolutely not. They won 92 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
They did. And why can't Michael Bush hit 34 home runs again? Michael Bush could do that. I think he's a really good player.
I like him.
But, oh, my God, to watch Seiya Suzuki last year hit 302, I believe, with men in scoring position. Guess what he's hit? 104. 104.
Ballesteros needs to be on the next plane to Des Moines. I'm sorry, it's just not working. Maybe get down here, build your confidence up. He had a phenomenal April. Looked like he was off to a terrific start. A lot of folks up there opening up their app and trying to find National League Rookie. Maybe that was just me. But it's just not happening for Ballesteros, Cap.
No, but I wouldn't say he looks overmatched. He's just, it is what it is. Everybody's in a slump. I don't know who you're replacing him with, but I would absolutely get Kevin Alcantara in the lineup tonight. I'm not sure Craig will. Let me give you a crazy stat. I tweeted this a little bit ago. The Chicago Cubs have not won a game since Sam Stianis, the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern and Grill, died May 15th.
And since White Sox Pride and PCA had at it out in right center at Guaranteed Rate Park.
A lot of curses.
A lot of curses.
Speaking of curses,
yeah,
the Chicago Bears stadium situation, Cap. Fill us in. What we got? 4 days left here on the session for the legislature. I saw Front Office Sports had a big article about the quote-unquote tax break that is going to go the Bears' way if all this passes. Just fill us in on the details here. We're trying to get this thing figured out, and another one that kind of makes your head hurt.
Yeah, I still can't believe they're going to end up in Hammond, Indiana. And again, this is not a shot at the people of Hammond, Indiana. That place is a dump. I mean, no. Build a stadium on a slag heap with oil refineries around it with toxic waste in the area? No. I'll believe it when I see it. And if they do build there, shame on both sides for not getting a deal done in this state, and it will be the dumbest business decision I've seen the Bears make. That's why they haven't run to the Indiana deal. They haven't. They could 3 months ago. They could have said, "Hey, that's a great deal. We're taking it. We're out. See you later."
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they? Because they don't want to be there.
No, I agree with you. Is there anything around the area, Cap? Is there a bunch of like bars, restaurants, hotels, or is that just just a deserted piece of land essentially?
I mean, there's a few things in the area, but it's just they have to come up with all the infrastructure. They got to come up with all the stuff you build around a stadium. That is so many years away from being a reality. No. Arlington Heights, different story.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an outcry from people of Arlington Heights with these tax breaks and what it could mean to them financially? Or
no, they want the stadium.
They want it.
Oh, definitely want
okay.
We'll
but
see.
Again, you've got Brandon Johnson, the least popular mayor in the history of the city, and one of the least popular politicians in the history of the country. Brandon Johnson saying, I'd rather they go to Hammond than come to Arlington Heights because we could still get people that want to stay in the city and get some of the tax benefits of people spending money in Chicago. This guy drives me insane. And I'm not talking about politically because I don't live in the city. Whether I would vote for him or not is irrelevant. I wouldn't. But I just don't understand how the governor here and the politicians here let the teachers union and this ridiculously bad mayor get involved to the point where we're getting to the 11th hour here. You better figure this thing out.
Is McCaskey starting to lose faith in Kevin Warren, or have we already passed that?
I give Kevin a ton of credit for the way the Bears run their business now. You've got, if you look at what the Bears were when Dan Quinn's coming in to interview and he's flying in the middle seat in the back row of a Southwest plane. I mean, really? We're going to bring him in the middle seat in coach.
C58.
Dan Quinn. Yeah, where 31 other teams, either their owner owns a plane or they have a NetJets account. And we're buying coach seats? What are we doing here? And they've moved past that now. They have the charter account and they do things first class. And when Ben Johnson said, I'll take the Bears job, but it's going to cost you $13 million a year, and I'm bringing Dennis Allen as my defensive coordinator, and that's another $5 million a year, and I want Dan Rauscher to be the offensive line coach, and that's north of $1 million, and I want this guy and I want that guy. Guess what? Kevin got it done. So the way they do their business, I give a lot of credit to Kevin Warren. But he was also brought here to build the stadium, and what are we, north of 3 years into it? It doesn't appear like we're much closer. So that he also has to have on his ledger.
OTAs for the Bears coming up. What is maybe the biggest question that you have? The thing that you're looking to find out when OTAs get started?
The biggest thing I want to see is how Caleb looks in terms of control of the offense. We just had Tyson Bagent here in our recap studio, and you can find it on our social media on Instagram. And he literally said to a question, what's the most impressive thing you've seen about Caleb over the last 12 months? I thought he was going to say, well, the throw against the Rams or all the comebacks or, the throw to Jade Walker off his back foot or finding DJ or whatever it was. He said, oh, by far the last 30 days. I looked at him. He said, oh, yeah, that guy is in such great control of the building. He is challenging guys in the weight room. His leadership is off the chain, how good it is. He said, so yeah, the last month, I've seen a different guy. I think that's super cool.
David Kaplan talking Chicago sports each and every week with the Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors. Cap, have a great week, pal. Appreciate it.
Have a great day, boys. Go Cubs.
See you later. We shall see as they try and stem the tide at 10. 125, Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors Cappy in his weekly segment, centurionstoneofiowa.com. That is the website. And if you have a need for manufactured or natural stone, got a project inside the house or outside the house, Centurion Stone's got a variety of style, patterns, and colors for your every need, including their very own manufactured stone product. That's Centurion Stone. It's got the look and feel of natural stone. It's available in 200 color and pattern combinations, but if you prefer the natural stone, well, of course, Centurion Stone has that. CenturionStoneofIowa.com, or visit the showroom, and they do have Saturday morning hours. Showrooms located at 5525 Northeast 22nd Street in Des Moines, right across the street from the Animal Rescue League. Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors Cappy. Off to Indiana next. Scott Agnuess covers the WNBA, and the Fever will do a little women's WNBA next. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
This June, the Legends of Golf return to Des Moines. The 2026 Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda Club, June 10th through 14th, where legends of the game compete and every swing helps support Iowa youth. Bring the whole family. Tickets start at just $25 and kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at principalcharityclassic.com. The Principal Charity Classic, because out here, it's more than golf.
It happens only once a year in Las Vegas.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is back. One stage, 2 nights.
Are you ready? Featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises.
We're getting this party going home.
Hear it live on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Listen for the reveal of our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tuesday morning at 7.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network.
Because shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for, ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday, only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Ken and Trent are back in 60 seconds right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Because shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts.
We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but you know,
Tired and sick.
tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, 1:30, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent and Ken with you until about 5 minutes or so before 2 o'clock. Turn things over at that time. Off the bench comes Sean and Lucas. They will take you until 5 o'clock. Scott Agnuess coming up momentarily. He covers the Fever, covers the WNBA at Fieldhouse Files for Scott Agnuess, and he joins the program. Scott, Trent, and Ken, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. How are you?
Doing well. All good here in Indy, coming off the Indianapolis 500, where Caitlin Clark played a small role while also attending her first time there at the track.
So for people that have it on their bucket list, and we'll get into the W in just a second, but you're right, with the calendar, we just saw there was an unbelievable finish. I felt terrible for the dude that got beat right at the wire. But what's the city like the week leading up to it? When does it start to really take a hold? And obviously the tens of thousands of people that make their way to that event, it's just got to be nuts.
We don't have an official count, but they put the number around 350,000.
That's wild.
So it is major. Think Super Bowl. I think 4 times a Super Bowl.
Right.
It's the largest single sporting event in the world. So here, and I'm obviously, I'll admit my bias. I'm from Central Indiana, so I grew up going to the race. I've covered it the last 15 years. If you love the Wimbledon, if you love the Masters, and all those with great pageantry, oh, believe me, you'll love all of this. And then you mentioned the closest finish in race history, the most passes for the lead in race history, and this is the 110th running. So the part that Caitlin I can highlight that is arguably the best, it's the pre-race ceremonies where there's regular items year after year that go on leading up to the spectacle. And one of the other things that makes it different, unique, whatever, is there's fans, there's media, there's people surrounding the cars like 5 minutes before they start their engines. Like, can you imagine going to the NBA finals here coming up or whatever?
Yeah.
And, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's drinking a Gatorade and getting ready for the game, and you're just in the room. Like, no, of course not. And so these guys are going over 240 miles per hour. There's almost 350,000 people there, and it really gets started 2 weeks ahead of time. So right around May 15th now, it used to be a full month, but they condensed it to the last 2 weeks, and you see flags everywhere. It's a significant community event here in town and across the state.
So one more on this. I know that being to the Kentucky Derby, if you're there Thursday, you have to rent your room. It's like a 3-night minimum, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Is that the same in Indianapolis? Are they gouging you like that? Hotels that way?
Oh, I'm sure they are. Obviously, I've never looked.
Sure.
I live here. But, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely some minimums. They're sold out. And people are staying all over, too. And get this. This will add some context. The race, green flag at 12:45 Eastern time, guys. I arrived at the media outside parking lot at 5:45 a.m. Sold out, or not sold out. It was already filled. Media lot filled. They were sending me to an alternative parking lot. And it wasn't even 6 a.m., more than 6 hours before the race starts, because it is all-day festivities. Normally, the race is blacked out in town. The last 2 years,
oh, really?
Yeah, that's been a tradition that none of us have really liked, although it's created different things. So, for example, how I grew up is you'd go to the race and then come home, grab a pizza, and watch it then on TV as it airs or re-airs at 7 o'clock in prime time. But now that when it's entirely sold out, the grandstands at least, you can fill the infield as much as you want.
Right.
It's 2.5 miles. As long as that's sold out, they do agree to lift the local blackout. I hope that's the one annotated tradition that I hope is discontinued.
Definitely on my bucket list. And remember,
have to.
My dad, my uncles, grandpa, they all went out there and talked about not just the race, but the party that goes along with it. And it definitely sounds like a fun time out there in Indy. Well, it's been an interesting week for the Fever with this week off. It's early in the season. Did it come at a good time? Caitlin was dealing with the back injury, got slapped on the wrist. The Fever did with the injury report and her not showing up until later on.
90 minutes before tip.
Yes, absolutely. Just overall, this week off, good thing for the squad?
It was, mostly because they did just had a condensed schedule, 5 games, 10 days. That included a one-off bizarre trip all the way out to Los Angeles and back, which anyone that knows, like you're trying to reset for a couple of days. No, they had a game after 1 day of travel. Like they arrived back at 7 a.m. that night and certain things like that. And they played a couple really good teams at the front end, a couple of the bottom more teams in the back end. But yeah, for them to have 5 days between games at any time is appreciated because it is so rare. But I think it was an ideal time because they had gotten a couple weeks of games under their belt. They had gotten most of their players back and healthy after several players were limited in training camp. And so now you're starting to see, I think, the team take off. You're seeing the offense they're wanting. The defense has improved. While about a little more than half the roster was returning from last season, still a lot of newcomers. And so it's going to take time. And so I think this combination of rest and 2 practice days, or 3 practice days, including today out in San Francisco, will set them up nicely now to resume again tomorrow at Golden State.
Is Caitlin 100%? Obviously the groin last year and the back this year. Is she close to 100%, or is she fine? What would you say, watching her, when you go back to a rookie season, what you saw of her last year, and then so far this year? Is she 100%, do you think, Scott?
Yeah, so last year the trouble was it was so many different things, starting from the second day of training camp. I remember her being a little bit limited with a leg issue, and it was the ankle injury that I reported that kind of kept her out the final couple of months, an injury that occurred while trying to ramp up from that groin injury. She said in December at USA basketball training camp held at Duke that she was 100% physically, no limitations, could do whatever. But what she's admitted here in the last month or two, really starting with when they played in that qualifying tournament, is she's feeling nerves and questioning herself. And there's some mental challenges. Like, she's a player, admittedly, doesn't get nervous before games. She's a player that doesn't listen to music before games. She doesn't need a pump up. She's ready to go. All those different things that most people, including myself, love to do. She does not. It's her sanctuary. But I think she's at the point after last season where she is probably an overthinker and hyper aware of every little thing that she might be feeling, even if some of it's natural or whatever. And so I think a lot of what the back becomes is her wondering if it is something, or is it not, or is it natural, or is it just a hard fall? All those different things. So I think that from physically, I think she'd tell you she's 100%, but 100% back, no, not quite yet.
Aaliyah Boston's added a little bit more to her game this season. You see the range. She's been able to shoot a little bit, but feels like more comfortable out there. The passing, I think, has come a long ways from her. When you talk about still more upside, is there still another tier that Aaliyah Boston can get to?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. And Caitlin, too. I mean, she's just 24. I think sometimes because she's been in, all our TVs the last 5 years, top 5 in MVP voting her rookie year, which is incredible for any type of player to do, no matter the league. And with Aaliyah Boston in particular, I think she prepared herself better than any season before because she knew exactly what to expect with Stephanie White coming into her second year with this coaching staff, paired alongside with Caitlin. She got in incredible shape, I believe, down in Unrivaled. Had a really good performance down there until she was dealing with a minor knee injury that kept her out of the championship in semifinals down there. But I think her touch, her ability to finish, and then for her, the number one thing, believe it or not, Stephanie White preseason, when asked about, what do you want to see from Boston? We know mostly what she can do. What she said, I want her to take more threes. And so I think what we're seeing her is just doing what the coaches tell her. And so when the opportunity is there, she's got to fire away. And there's been some ups and downs, right? Last game, she had a nasty air ball, but she's also made it at a reasonable clip. And the data will tell them that making threes at a good clip is better than, those mid-range shots. And so the other thing is they can play her as a hub. Certainly want to play some pick and roll with Caitlin, which is nearly unstoppable because it's pick your poison there. Either you leave Boston cutting to the basket or Caitlin wide open for a logo three. So those are the challenges they can establish. And then you got Sophie Cunningham on a wing. Kelsey Mitchell's good for 20 points per game. And then you string that into getting stops, and that's where this team's most deadly.
Lexi Hull doing her job doing that, getting stops, playing her defensive role. So I want to ask you this, Scott, because you're there, and I hear a lot of the Caitlin defenders, and I'm one of them, but I'm not national, obviously. Some of the national media truly believes that Indiana is doing all they can to run Caitlin out of town. And when she gets her opportunity, she's going to leave the Fever and sign somewhere else. Is that I guess palpable from where you sit? Can you feel that there's a chance that Caitlin doesn't remain a member of the Fever once she gets that opportunity, or is that just national media trying to get involved when they shouldn't be putting their nose into that business?
I think that's among the wild conspiracy theorists that have come out there, including some that have said Caitlin was suspended for the last game. No, she was not. She has a great relationship with Stephanie White. Those around them think they are twins in how they react and their sarcasm and their sassiness and how they command a room in all these different ways. No, one of the biggest issues I've felt on this beat more than anything is the wild theories and things that just have no legs to them whatsoever. But it really seems to grab conversation and then people talk about it and then it becomes a nasty game of telephone. But I do not feel that whatsoever.
The league as a whole, Fever did start 4-2, but the WNBA for the better part of, basically the 25 years of existence, feels like there's maybe a couple of teams in this top tier and then everybody else. Is this league more open this year? Are there a bigger slot of teams that can ultimately win a championship? Is this as open as it's been recently?
Yeah, that's a good point because I think that's an example of the way in which this league has evolved for the better, because you're exactly right. I mean, up until probably 3 or 4 years ago, it was a 2 or 3 team league, right? Like you kind of knew what were the 3 teams that were being contention? And worse than that, you knew the 5 that had no chance that were just going along. And until Caitlin and Eliot Boston too got here, the Fever were very much in that. They'd win 5 games, 6 games. They were playing in front of 1,000 fans or 1,500 fans. Caitlin always loves to recall the story of when she first got here. Before she got here, there was 1 concession stand open, right? Like, and there must be 40 of them now. Like, there just wasn't a demand. So I think the tide has risen at all these different levels to the point where there is great competitive balance here. I mean, there's really like 1 or 2 teams you don't think highly of right now, Connecticut, but obviously they're transitioning to Houston next season. But at the top, I think, it's really good. There's about 4 or 5 teams you feel really good about, and anybody. We've also seen a lot of upsets here in the early going. So I think that speaks to the evolution of this league and more players going in different places as well.
So let's fast forward to tomorrow night. We'll get the rematch. It got a little testy at the end of it, and then subsequent to that, continue to ratchet up on Tiffany's part, Tiffany Hayes. So what do we expect tomorrow night? Do you expect more of this? Will it be a physical game between those two? I mean, I think Caitlin thrives on that. I don't think that Hayes was too happy about being the brunt of that, and the reason seemingly Caitlin went off. What do you expect tomorrow night between the Valkyries and the Fever? Is this going to be a nasty game and something that Appointment TV?
Yeah, I would expect more of the same. These two are competitive groups, and I saw for the most part it was just competitors out there playing hard, wanting to get the best of one another. Yeah, it got a little chippy, a little edgy, and to some extent you like that. It means they care. If they want to win the game. It's if there is a line crossed, right? Like I think we saw at halftime, Clark took exception to whatever. I think it was an elbow thrown her way or something on a rebound, I remember, and she said, "Don't do that. We don't need that," or "Don't do that." Outside of those, I mean, that is good. It takes me back to the old days of the Fever Detroit Shock days where they didn't really like each other. They respected the hell out of each other, and you knew every game was going to be a physical battle. Now, one of the biggest takeaways to me here, guys, over the first couple of weeks has been the way in which the game is officiated, and that's something
is it better?
They're trying to improve upon. I think they're making steady progress. I do, in that they're allowing more freedom of movement, something they did not in years past. And if you do that, the better players are going to have better performances, and certainly help Caitlin because it allows her to drive to the basket and get rewarded for that. She'd go to the free throw line and is perfect at the free throw line, which is remarkable, but also not surprising. And so it's a matter of striking the right balance between setting the tone and enforcing the rules and calling it consistently, while also embracing some of the physicality in these competitive battles that make these players great pros.
Yeah, I watched Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin. Caitlin was praising the officiating, and Sophie was giving
That's live, yeah.
That was awesome. Scott Agnuess at Fieldhouse Files. Scott, thanks for doing what you do for Trent and I here, and popping on occasion when we get caught up in the WNBA. Fun league to be covering. Good stuff, Scott Agnuess. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you down the road.
You're welcome. That sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Scott Agnuess, as we check in on the Fever and the WNBA. You watching much of it?
Not much.
Fever?
Yeah, that's about it.
Me too.
Once things slow down, though, once we get past the NBA and the NHL.
The winter sports have crowned their champs.
And the Twins are staying.
They're a playoff team.
A playoff team. And that means that, yes, more TV time is being dedicated. They're not good.
They're not good.
They're not
Neither are the White Sox.
No, Sean tries to. He's one of those fans that tries to kid themselves. Like, you can still be a fan of your team and actually look at things realistically.
But I hope it continues at least for a few more weeks.
Oh, absolutely.
Get some hope.
Get to July, get to August.
Yeah.
Get to football season.
There you go. Those are the magic words.
Yes.
Football season. Trent's plays of the day. They're next. Another winning day yesterday, 4-2. Let's see what his props are this afternoon into this evening's games. Miller and Condon, Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This month at Ames Ford, we celebrate American value for American values. Our best price upfront and in writing. Now with employee pricing. Unbeatable value on new Ford and over 175 used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Find the SUV for you with new Ford Explorers and Bronco Sports in stock and now offering employee pricing. Or drive away in the all-new Ford F-150 with employee pricing. These deals won't last. Visit us in-store or online at amesford.com.
Voters are listening to the radio, and they're really listening. If you're running for office, radio gets your message heard, not scrolled past. Reach communities everywhere and be on the air in just 48 hours. Go to winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
She walked miles with her granddaughters every day at Disney with zero knee pain, but she couldn't have done that months ago. This all started with a visit to QC Kinetics.
We have spent the last 4 days going from park to park, walking all day long, no pain. I feel fantastic.
Here's what baffles people when they hear Kathy's story.
The doctor said, you need 2 full knee replacements. And I said, that's not going to happen. I went to QC Kinetics, started treatment that day. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free.
It's the kind of story that QC Kinetics hears from patients all the time.
I cannot thank QC Kinetics enough for giving me my life back. I'm active again and loving it. I'm well over a year out. I've had absolutely no pain in either knee.
Before you agree to surgery, listen to this. Think about it.
Tomorrow is Animal Kingdom, so yeah, gotta go.
Kathy's glad she took them up on the free consultation. We have one set aside for you.
Call QC Kinetics, 515-259-1227. That's 515-259-1227. 515-259-1227.
Power Water from Powerade delivers zero sugar hydration with 50% more electrolyte water. It's flavored enhanced water built for work days, workouts, and game days. Power Water is now available. Brand new, great taste. Grab one today.
Happy birthday to you.
What gets you out of bed in the morning? Has you staying up late? What are you excited about? What drives you? It can all be gone in an instant. So buckle up, slow down, drive sober, pay attention. Don't lose what drives you. Brought to you by the Iowa Department of Transportation.
Do you remember the last walk-off homer to win the World Series? It's been a while, but the answer is 1993. Do you know when Wolf Roofing started roofing houses? That's right, 1993. Wolf Roofing has been around for a long time. For your next roofing project, put the experience of Wolf Roofing on your side. Find them on the web at wolfroofing.net or give them a call at 515-225-8866. Or online, wolfroofing.net.
I was already prepared to be impressed, but H&H Windows and Doors still exceeded my already high expectations installing our new door and windows. Yep, they are in, and the process from start to finish was quick and easy. The crew from H&H Windows and Doors was in and out in less than a day. Their attention to details like trim and paint makes it look like that brand new sliding glass door has always been in our home. And our new basement windows look so nice, we're getting an estimate to replace the rest of our windows too. H&H Windows and Doors is a small, locally owned family business, and they know how to take care of their customers. Ask about their interest-free financing and lots of options for every budget. One of the best things you could do for your home's energy efficiency, home value, and curb appeal is replace old windows and doors. Call H&H Windows and Doors today at 515-216-4901 or go to hhwindoor.com. Tell them Heather sent you in.
You're listening to Miller and Condon. Off the bench with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain is on deck here on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, welcome back. Final couple of minutes of our program. Off the bench coming up from 2 until 5. Guessing the boys will have some fun with the college football TV kickoff times.
You're so sad.
I am pissed off, yes. You know how much I love schedules?
I know you do.
It's my last year.
Couldn't they just release it at 10 a.m. like they have?
And just the Cyhawk game. I mean, the other ones are okay.
Yes,
but
yeah.
What time's Cyhawk kicking? I love. You know how
I
I
told
feel
you,
about this
6:30.
game. I hope you're right. I hope it's a night game. I hope it's a night game. I hope this game is played every single year.
You going to come in and do a segment Cyhawk Week?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I do love the game, TC.
I know you do.
How I do feel about it.
You're
It
a
moves
big
our
proponent.
needle. I am. 6:30 NBC. Let's go with it.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. What are we going to lock in as far as your picks? 4-2, you said yesterday. That was your finishing total. Your props were good. No basketball tonight. One NHL game. A lot of day baseball today. What are you going to bet?
So we got 2 picks in individual games. Of course, the best price comes at Circa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Reds plus 105 against the Mets.
Boy, the Mets. What a disaster.
And Abbott's on the mound, who's okay for the Reds. I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Andrew Abbott. Yep.
And I'm taking the Canadiens plus 128. Now, the big books out there, plus 115.
Jeez.
Plus 128. Again, why you need to download the Circus Sports
to
app.
tie the series at 2 apiece.
And then we jump over to our friends with Unjuiced, unjuiced.bet. And I got 4 props that jumped off the page to me here today.
Any hockey props?
No hockey props. They do have them.
They do?
But I did not jump aboard on that. I'm going to start Christopher Sanchez over 6.5 strikeouts. That will be coming up this afternoon at 3:10. Sabali, who is one of the big acquisitions for New York in the WNBA, she has been inconsistent in her first couple of games, over 13.5 points. I think she puts it together tonight. Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases, and we're going back to the well again with Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases. So,
and he had 8 yesterday.
He had 8 yesterday. Yes, probably will come down from that total, but just need to get 2, and we'll hit that one. Sanchez over strikeouts, Sabali over points, and over total bases for Judge and Alvarez. 30% off right now. Use the code KXNO at unjuiced.bet if you are interested in hitting these player props that have been very good to me recently.
Yeah, they have, no doubt. They've been carrying you. Well, your gameplay hasn't been bad as of late. By
Been okay.
any means. Yeah,
decent for me.
The way you were going. Yeah,
Some days are better than others, and that's okay.
Sure, it is.
This is fun.
What about your Twins? They play. They're a night game, aren't they?
They're this evening. Yes,
6:40. I know nothing about your starting pitcher.
Connor Prelup. He is like their young arm.
Is
this is the guy that's been talked about the last 2-3 years.
Okay.
This has been their
They've
big
been
prospect.
waiting for him?
Yeah, and he's been okay.
All right.
Pretty good.
We will
take a gander, see what you think of him.
I will. I'll before the hockey game starts, because that's where I'll be at 7:00. That's going to do it for us. Appreciate you being with us. Coming up next off the bench, Lucas and Sean take you until 5:00. We're Miller and Condon. Trent and I talk sports with you Monday through Friday, noon to 2 on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.